Hey, what's going on, friends? Welcome to the music room. As always, it's Tony hanging out here with you. I have a brand new music review for you guys, and I'm so excited because it just happens to be my favorite all-time artist, Gary Allan. So, let's get kicking off with this brand new music review. The album is called Ruthless, and the question is, it's been 8 years since Gary Allan released a record. Is this record worth the wait? We're about to find out. So before we get started, guys, just do me a big favor. You see that subscribe button down there? If you love music and dig what we're doing here in the music room, could you give that subscribe button a click for me? I would truly appreciate it. And that way, you'll never miss out on a future music review, a vinyl show and tell, concert review, interview, all the stuff we got going on. Guys, this summer is getting started and music is back and we have lots going on. Alright, so enough of the commercials. Let's get down to what we're here for. The brand new record from Gary Allan, Ruthless. Like I said, it's been 8 years since Gary Allan released a new album. 2013's Set You Free. It's a great record, had some great songs on it, and then no new records. Gary did release a handful of singles along the way, and every time a single would come out, it would be kind of like, okay, are we getting a new record? Are we getting a new record? But nothing happened. But at the end of last year, Gary released a single, Waste of Whiskey Drink, and the rumblings began that there was in fact a new record. But it wasn't until this May, when Gary did a live stream on his Facebook and YouTube with his fans and announced that indeed we were getting a brand new Gary Allan record. It was going to be called Ruthless, and he gave us the album cover, which is right here. And he also gave us a snippet of some of the songs on the album. Now, obviously, I'd heard Waste of Whiskey Drink. I'd also heard a couple of the other songs because Gary had been playing things live. If you ever see Gary live, he'll try stuff out on the crowd and say, what do you guys think of this song? What do you think of that song? And I was definitely waiting for one particular song called Unfiltered, which I absolutely love, and that is on this record. But let's get down to the record itself. All right, it is made up of 13 songs. The track listing will be in the description here of the video, so that way you can see the track listing. I have to tell you guys what, I got the record and I put it on while I was doing stuff. And that's not the way to listen to this record. Every time Gary puts out a record, he grows, he changes a little bit, he stretches the boundaries of what he does. Now, at the heart of things is always Gary Allan, it's always pure and true, but he likes to stretch the boundaries of what he does. It seems like it really started with the album Living Hard, and with every album after that, you can see like the boundaries growing. This record, 8 years later from Set You Free, the boundaries have definitely grown. If you're just casually listening to this album, you're going to hear some things, you're like, what was that? And that's what I did. I'm like, was that Gary? Was that a Gary Allan song? And I gotta be honest, I was kind of like, man, I don't think about that, you know? But what I did then, I said, okay, I need to sit down with this record. I need to listen to it. I need to tune everything else out, right? Because it's Gary Allan. He deserves that. So that's what I did. I sat down, cleared everything out, may have opened up a cold one, and listened to the album Ruthless from start to finish. And I did it again, and I did it again. And yes, there was definitely some new things on here, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. But I also kind of heard that familiar Gary Allan-ness that I love so much. So this is one of those records, I compare it to a glass of whiskey, right? As we're a little bit younger, our tendency is to take that glass of whiskey and shoot it back and get immediate satisfaction. But as we get a little older, we realize the best way to enjoy that whiskey is to sip on it. And that's the way I look at Ruthless. I look at it like a glass of whiskey. Don't shoot this record. Don't just listen to it and say, okay, I heard it and this is what I think. Sit down with this record and really just sip it, each song, and you're going to hear those nuances that really attract you to Gary Allan's music, but you're going to hear some new stuff too. So let's get into a little bit of what I'm talking about when I talk about the new stuff or the little bit of the growth that Gary does show in this record. You know, most notably is the title track, Ruthless. This song is like R&B infused. It's got a horn section on it, and it's definitely almost like a Motown-y kind of thing. And like I said, I've never really heard that from Gary before. So, you know, that was kind of the ones, like when I heard in the background, I was like, what is that? But when I sat down and heard it, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Another one that is going to strike you is pretty different than what we've heard before is a tune called Little Glass of Wine. This track, I would kind of describe it as like a Hawaiian jazz fusion, if that makes any sense. And again, the first time I heard it, I was like, man, that's completely different than anything I've ever heard before. But as I'm sitting there sipping on it, it kind of brought me back to the tune Adobe Walls on the All Right Guy record. If you haven't heard that, go check that record out and check that song out, Adobe Walls. Real kind of laid back, and it leads into what I think could be a little glass of wine. Gary, if you're watching this for a concert, that'd be a great medley. I know you do that from time to time, kind of Adobe Walls and a little glass of wine, and then maybe go into Wind Me Up from the first record. So anyway, there are those things that resonate then as you listen to it, like, oh yeah, that kind of reminds me of this, or yeah, I was kind of in there a few records ago, and now it's like it's right here to the front. So yeah, there are going to be some things here that are going to be a little different, and they're going to maybe take one or two listens to really get your head wrapped around. But I think when you listen to the record as a whole, you're going to find out that it flows so great. And these new additions or these new things that Gary's doing, they're a nice change of pace, and they fit into his catalog. So definitely take this record in, listen to it track by track, but listen to the whole thing. Don't skip around. But that's not to say that there's not just some bona fide 100% Gary Allan songs on here. I'm going to go to my little list here because my memory is terrible. But there are some songs on here right away. I'm just going to be like, yes. Till It Felt Like You, great Gary Allan song. There's a new song on here called Slide. I really enjoy it. It's kind of a little bit of a traditional what you would think of Gary, but also kind of takes away some new things as well. High as I Ever Been. This is a song you may have heard live if you've seen Gary live in the past few years. And like I said, it feels like a Gary Allan song, but there are also some moments where he does some things vocally that I really haven't heard him do before. So again, taking some chances, growing a little bit as a performer, and I think it works. My favorite song on the album so far, I'd probably say this about a couple of them, is What I Can't Talk About. And to me, What I Can't Talk About sums up Gary Allan for me 100%. The reason I love his music so much is because I feel like it speaks of my life. My sister will say that Gary Allan sings about her life, and I think that a lot of us feel that way. The way some of the things he says in his song, you're just like, yes, that's me, that's me. In this song here, he kind of talks about that, how he basically speaks through the music, his guitar strings, and I wish I could quote things better, but listen to the words. But there is a quote on here, and he basically says, put your headphones on, close your eyes. I'm going to heal you. I'm going to let you know you're not alone. And that's Gary Allan's music for me. It's heal. It's healing. It's comfort. It's somebody else gets what I'm feeling at any given time in my life, good or bad. So that's Gary, and he put that perfectly in the song with What I Can't Talk About. There's a track on here called Sex, and Sex, S-E-X. At first when I heard it live, I wasn't quite sure. I don't know. It kind of seemed like a cheap pop. But when I hear it on the album, it's a good tune. I think you guys are going to like it. Earmuffs maybe for the kids, but I don't know. They may not even get it. I didn't really plan on doing a track-by-track breakdown, but there's so much to talk about with this album. Again, Unfiltered. It's just, to me, it fits right in there with any kind of Gary Allan song. Just that... the stuff that I truly love, those songs that are my favorite, like It Ain't the Whiskey, songs about rain. Unfiltered fits right in there. I've been waiting for this song to come out on an album, and I'm going to wear the heck out of it. So that is right up there. That's my favorite song ever on this record. Again, I've said it a couple times already, maybe. And then, like I said, Little Glass of Wine and The Hard Way. Another great, what I think, just true grit Gary Allan song. You're going to hear, I think, in that song, The Hard Way, some guitar work on there. It's going to sound familiar. To me, the guitar work there reminds me of the guitar intro to Right Where I Need to Be, and that's no coincidence. Gary actually recorded this record with the same band that he recorded Smoke Rings in the Dark with. Studio band. I'm not the touring band, but the studio band. So you're going to hear some smoke ring moments throughout this record. So there you guys go. I could really talk about this record. I could talk about each track for a long time, but I know that there's a lot of other videos to check out, and I want you guys to get this record and check it out for yourself. It does come out June 25th, this Friday, if you're watching this on release day, but if not, the record's out there. Go get it. Sit down, pour your favorite beverage. This album goes good with a cold beer. This album goes good with a good glass of bourbon. This album goes good with a good glass of tequila. I mean, it's it's whatever you want to listen to. It goes good with a good glass of milk, cup of coffee, whatever your guys' poison is. But anyway, sit down, be intentional when you listen to this record. Listen to it a couple times, and I think you guys are, each time you listen to it, you're going to pull something else out of it. That's what I've done. I'm so happy for a brand new Gary Allan record. Now all I need to do is go see Gary Allan live. So right now that's on the books for September, if we can't get it done sooner. But anyway, congratulations Gary Allan on Ruthless, another outstanding record. Thank you guys for hanging out with me here in the music room. Please use the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the record. Use that like button if you enjoy what we're doing, and please again hit that subscribe button. Fellow Gary Allan fans unite, hit that subscribe button. Lots more Gary content coming up real soon, guys. Alright, as always, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, I truly do. God bless, take care, goodbye.